non-marathoner to marathoner. And then when you qualify for Boston, you go from marathon runner to Boston qualifier.
A number of runners from the Boston Athletic Association and several of their coaches went to the first Olympic Games in Athens in 1896, and they were impressed by the marathon. And so one of the Boston managers came back and said, why don't we have a marathon in Boston?
And they decided to have it on the day which celebrates America's heroic messenger, which was Paul Revere. And they had it on Patriots' Day. So you've got the whole notion of messengers, freedom, heroism. It was an inspired thing to do, and Boston, therefore, has the longest and richest history of any marathon in the world.
Now, Boston is really unique because of its qualifying system. When I first started running Boston, we had, I think, 150 runners in the race. Gradually through the 1960s, the numbers of runners started to grow. By the end of that decade, we were up to about 1,000, and they sought a way to limit the field, and they put on standards. They began with, I think, you had to have run a previous marathon in 4 hours. That they figured would limit the field, and then they started cutting it down to 3.5 hours, 3 hours, and the more they raised the challenge, the more interested runners became in meeting that challenge. So without realizing it, they had made their race much more popular by making it more difficult to get into.
For Boston, I need a 3:10:59 to qualify. It's basically 7 minutes and 15 seconds a mile.
Good to see he's doing some Warren workouts there.
So this would be, an 8:15 pace would be what I run my long runs at to get ready. I'll push it to 7:15 now, and then I'll hold that pace for a little bit.